everyone, this is Thoughtful Salt, and this is an early look at Kinetic Void. Kinetic Void is in the early access program on Steam. It's available for the Mac and PC. And this is me looking at some of the controls because, yeah, it's one of the major issues that I've had with this game so far, and I think it'll be one of the major issues a lot of people have so far. Alright, so let's play the game and see what it's about. First, I'm going to turn off windowed mode. As you can see, there's a lot of resolution options available. Not many advanced graphical options, but for now, let's take a look at what we could do with this game. Let's see, what should we call it? Yes, that sounds like a decent name. Let's try that. Here is the main element I think that will attract a lot of different people to this game. The ability to create their own spaceship. And it's an element that I think a lot of games don't take advantage of. Endless Space had a bit of an element like this where you could design some of your own ships, but that was mostly just picking what weapons, what armor attributes they would have, rather than designing a whole ship from scratch. And this game relies wholly on the ship design aspects. Unfortunately, there are a few problems. And one of the problems is, as you could probably see right now, I am doing my best to try and maneuver this into a position that looks neat. I mean, you can see there's a node on the side there. And I want to try and get that into an even position, but unfortunately it wouldn't let me. I'd like to be able to manipulate the spaceship modules even more than they're already being manipulated. Since I'm stuck with this, I might as well try and create something cool, right? Well, it's very, very finicky, this ship design system. It relies on the nodes, but it doesn't allow you to really do anything besides rotate on one plane only. Yes, but it's still an angle. I don't want it to be in an angle. If there's one thing that'll become clear by the end of this video, is that this ship design aspect needs a bit more. I'd like it to be less finicky because, quite frankly, sometimes it gets annoying trying to maneuver every part where you want it to go. So, here's a look at a custom ship made in-game. And as you can see, another problem with this ship design interface is because of the darkness of the background, sometimes it's very, very hard to see what's going on with your ship. I mean, I could barely see this ship at some points when I tilt it at certain angles within this room. But this does show off some of the customization that can happen with this game. Alright, let's see what the gameplay is like. Well, up close the textures don't hold up. Keep in mind that this is in early access, so maybe the texture quality will be improved. Significantly, I hope. I'm trying to figure out what the controls are. One thing that this game doesn't have is any semblance of a menu where you can view the controls. You have to go to outside sources currently to figure out what to do. And unfortunately, that's a major problem because, I don't know, I'd like to be able to stay within the game and not have to go to a friggin' website and browse through the controls to figure out how to control the game. But whatever, we'll see what happens here. This game does a very poor job of explaining things to you, but it is in early access. It's an alpha, basically. There's not really much going on. And once you design your spaceship and launch it, this is supposed to be one of the main elements that happens here, but I'm not feeling this experience right now. But we'll get to more specifics about this later. I shall skip ahead a tiny bit. Alright, we're back in the shipyard. So I'm gonna try and create my own starship from scratch. Again, I got this cockpit, which I like very much. That looks good. There's a wide variety of hulls available to attach to other hulls in this game. So, the thinking is, attaching lots of different parts together, you'll eventually wind up at something that you like. And in theory, that's what this game offers, but unfortunately, as you'll soon see, the ship design is actually incredibly limited. And there's a couple of infuriating problems that will arise too. I like the ability to zoom the camera around though. That's definitely a nice touch. Engines must face the rear of the ship. How is this not the rear of the ship? Alright, so it's facing entirely opposite the direction I want it to be right now. At the start of this video, I showed you the guide to shipyard building and some of the controls that go around, but one thing that the guide does not explain, and one problem that could very easily infuriate a lot of people, is the fact that, well, you have no idea which axis or plane the game wants you to actually build the ship on. Until you're way too deep in the process. How is that not facing towards the rear of the ship? How is that not? How is that not? I don't understand. That's one definite thing that they have to fix with this game, because that is annoying. I mean, seriously? That's some constructive criticism. The game, designed around building ships, should be designed around the building of the ships in a more convenient way, and not forcing us to look all over the place and just fidget with everything in order to figure things out. The game has to be accessible to a certain degree, is what I'm saying, in its main mechanics. And some people could say, well, you could just figure it out and be an expert about it and prove your superiority of the noobs. But no. I'm gonna place some weapons, get some cannons on here. Oh, really? Yeah, wonderful. I wanted to make my ship look like it had some very cool claws, but they're pointing downward for some stupid reason. Did I remove all of them? Pretty sure I did. Yeah. All the weapons in this game are basically just variations on the same cannon type weapons. And that gets a bit boring. And unfortunately, these are the type of weapons that can't be mounted in any way that you want them to be mounted. It sucks. As I said before, the ship design aspect of this game, so far, in this early access build, it just doesn't have the insane amount of depth that it seems to at first glance. I mean, it's all just variations on cannons, just with more cannons on there. I mean, where are some missile systems? Where are some plasma cannons or something? I don't know, something interesting. Other than just a point-and-shoot cannon. But hopefully that will be something that will be taken into consideration as this game moves forward. These guns do look nice from a certain perspective. I'll give them that. Like, I can see a lot of cool designs that could come from this already. I wish there was a node on the bottom of the cockpit. Just place a chin gun on there. What is this? Spike fins? Ooh. Wonder if this will work. It's highly impractical, but you know, that's half the fun of a game like this. That's the appeal that drew me to it. Is like, build your own ship, make it as ugly as you want. Oh, that's not gonna work. Let's try rotating it. There we go. Aha, behold. The behemoth. She's not the best looking gal in the world, but she will deliver results. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Alright. Is there anything more I can attach to this? Now this is just a fighter. It's very, very small. That looks cool. Since I enjoy some symmetry. There we go. Ha! Now that looks cool to me. I may be horribly inept at ship design in a practical aspect, but I love making totally impractical machines in games like this. Alright, let's place this engine. Engines must face the rear of the ship. I wish there was a way you could rotate on the other axes, the items you want. Because, I mean, just rotating on one plane, it gets fidgety. Very, very annoying. Like, what if I want to place the engine on the bottom of the ship? Well, it won't let me do that because it'll just attach in the one place that I don't want it to. Now, apparently there is some way to switch the nodes, but I hit the button that says that you can do that in some of the guides, and it hasn't worked for me. So that's very frustrating. Try to place it on the back there. Alright. How is that not facing? Ah! Really? Engines must face the rear. What? This is facing the rear of the ship. Oh, that is annoying. That is definitely something you have to fix for this game to be anything approaching good. Oh no. I'm supposed to be building this ship in the entirely different direction that wasn't signposted at all. Let's just go to the maximum Kevlar. Why not? This is going to be tiresome, to say the least. Here's another issue with this game. Start a new ship. There's no option for that. And basically you gotta just save a new version of one of your existing ships and then just edit from there. I wish there was an option just to start a new fighter or ship from scratch. So I'm gonna place the engine first this time because I gotta figure out what plane the designers were thinking of when they designed the shipbuilding aspect. No? No. There we go. That direction. Is that the right way up? I have no clue, because this game gives you no information on what side of things are the right way up. I do see the promise of this aspect, though. Designing your own ship in whatever way you want to, that's a cool system, no matter what anybody says. I mean, Endless Space, even if it just had shades of this aspect, it was still cool because it had that aspect in it. And I can certainly see where the developers are going with this. They just need to make sure that it's more user-friendly as the game goes on. Cockpit next. Go with the one I had before. Wait a second, that looks upside down. And another thing that could be improved is the area in which you design the ships, because it gets very, very hard to spot some of the components you put onto the ship when everything around it is surrounded in total darkness. So you gotta angle the ship in weird ways to actually see what you're trying to do. So I'm just gonna start again, try and get everything aligned correctly. Graphically, I have it on, I think, the second highest setting. It looks okay for an early access build. I know that the texture quality will probably improve, that all the effects will probably improve. I mean, this hangar, despite its impracticality in the actual design process of the ship, actually looks nice. There's some nice atmospheric effects going on. Music's okay. I'm gonna have to check to see if it's stock music, however. If it's not, then kudos. But if it is, well, I'm gonna destroy your game in any review I do of this game once it's actually fully finished. Just so you know, developers. Because it's unacceptable, quite frankly. But if it's not stock music, then you've got a really good soundtrack here so far. I approve. Alright, gonna try and do my best to recreate the design I had from before. Maybe there is some trick to it. Maybe I could have built the hull first and placed the engine on it, and it would have been fine. Like, it would have actually placed because it would have been facing towards the rear of the ship. Maybe there's some way to tell. But me coming into this game as a total newcomer to whatever genre this is trying to be, and to the concept, if there is a way it's not accessible to me, I can't figure out a way for that to happen. Just the same old boring machine guns and cannons. Can't place them in any way I want to, only in ways the designers figured they wanted them to be placed. Gun on the engine. Yes, there's no way that could go wrong. These are all aspects that can be improved. I am well aware of that. But these videos, if nothing else, are meant to prod the developers in the direction of what they're trying to achieve. And they're getting there. I'm designing a ship right here, and I'm loving what I'm able to do. I just wish there were more options, which will be implemented probably, hopefully. I just wish that you could edit more freely instead of just being locked to the planes that the designers intended. Because it's no fun building a ship, having every component except the engine, and then trying to put the engine on, and you can't place it because apparently the engine is not in the rear of the ship, even though it bloody is. But whatever. As I said before, this concept very, very much intrigues me. And this is just not even the main part of the game. Apparently there's a whole galaxy to explore with the ship that you've created. But as I said before, there just needs to be some more options. I mean, a lot of these hulls, they're okay looking, but there needs to be something more. Like, if there was in the miscellaneous types of nodules, if there was more crazy stuff that you could add to your ship, which will probably, like I said, be implemented, then this would be even cooler. As it stands right now, it's a pretty good system. I'm liking some of the freedom that I'm given so far. I'm liking some of the atmospheric effects they got. There's some finicky issues with some of what's going on with the designing of the ships, like planes that you have to design on that you're not signposted in any way, the limitations of the weapons, of some of the hull designs, and there's a limited amount of cockpits too. I mean, when this game gets released on PC, if it becomes popular, there will be mods, probably, that will allow for more fantastical designs. I mean, someone's going to recreate Starship Enterprise within the first 2 weeks of this coming out, I guarantee it. Space, the final frontier. Shiny. I'm gonna make everything shiny because I like to pimp out my ride. Very, very promising stuff to work from here. And hopefully, the developers will hear some of this and will say, alright, there's some aspects that need to be improved. And that's really the best case scenario. If the designers make the design aspect of building your ship more accessible, less finicky, give you more options basically, then this game will be a solid game. There's really no doubt about that. She may be unwieldy in flight, but I'm proud of her. Prowler, everybody. I think there's a couple more things that could be added to this. It looks a bit sparse. This looks promising. Whoop, there we go. One major thing that definitely needs to happen though, you need to have some sort of in-game system where you can view the controls and not force us to go to outside sources in order to view those controls. Because anyone jumping into this game will be very, very confused. That may turn some people off automatically, even though this is early access. Make sure you get that implemented as fast as possible, please. Alright. Looks like you'll need some more weapons. Oh, come on. Oh, really? Why won't you? Just go point forward, please. No? We'll have to see how this looks. Yep, totally out of the question. You are not further dampening the looks of this beauty. I'm just gonna remove most of the weapons entirely. You can see me getting very, very absorbed in this concept. It's the same fascination a lot of people have with games like Minecraft. The ability to just create something that's personally theirs. There we go. I wonder if that's too far inward. Yeah, that just looks ugly. She's dropping bombs, everybody. She's dropping the bombs. An engine attached to another engine. See how that looks. Nah, that looks alright. I'm not gonna complain. Alright, is there anything... Ooh. Different sizes. Let's see what this gas pod... Oh, yeah, you could definitely go huge with the sizes in this game. I don't think I want to add any more to the sides. I think she's got enough on there. Do I want to add something underneath? Really? Yeah. Make sure when you implement some more design decisions in this game that you make sure that you can rotate the objects on more than one axis. Can't put that on top, actually. Yeah, that looks cool. To me. I'm not a master shipbuilder by any stretch of the imagination, but I like what I see here. But as I've said, more options in the weapons, more variety in the weapons. I mean, just cannons? Really? I mean, miniguns, just variation on the cannon concept. No missiles, no magnetic accelerator cannons, like different than cannons, trust me. No huge behemoth weapons, no Patriot missile batteries or something. I don't know, laser cannons, plasma torpedoes. Well, some defenses on top shouldn't hurt. Yeah, well, now we have overwhelming firepower from the front. But someone can easily take me from the rear. Oh my! Ha 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 ha! Ugh. Childish, I know. But sometimes the low road is taken for a reason. You can also customize the colors to a certain extent. I mean, if someone wanted to work within these colors, these very basic colors, then you could. Maybe there'll be an option to implement some custom camouflage in the game, or the ability to import some JPEGs of your own personal designs into these ships. Who knows? That would be nice. It's another aspect of personalization that we add to the game. To a certain extent, I mean, if there was someone who just wanted to put dicks all over a ship, well, yeah, that guy'd be just a massive dick. I want my ship to be yellow. It's not looking like it's getting very bright yellow in the box there, for some odd reason. I wish there was a box in this where you could like save the hue that you've pinpointed so far and just put it in one of those sample boxes, but this is also a bit finicky, so hopefully that'll be improved as well. It's not currently showing on my ship. That's what that does. Alright, I'm gonna make that red. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Is there anything else that needs to be done? Check the weapons, make sure everything's good. I need to actually put some systems on board. Alright, subsystems. This is another cool aspect of the game, and this is where the game most resembles Endless Space. And unfortunately, that's a problem. How is it a problem, you ask? Well, Endless Space, with its customization system for the ships, was just an endless stream of minor upgrades. That's about it. Yeah, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, what's the problem with that? Well, it was just like missiles. Missiles 1, Missiles 2, Missiles 3, Missiles 4. Sequential upgrades that only added slightly improved benefits. There was nothing crazy going on with the variety or the customization. It was all just missiles, weapons, shields. Shields that block certain types of weapons. And this game has shades of that. It does have a nice bit of options. Engine boost. There we go. I like that it has a lot of options. It's just that I wish that there was some more crazy, quirky stuff that you could put in, like I don't know, a holodeck. Why not a holodeck? Where's my holodeck? This is what I got into space travel to experience. A holodeck. But it's a nice bit of stuff you could put in your ship so far. It is early access, so I guess a certain amount of prodding is needed before they'll let you do some of the crazier stuff. Why wouldn't anyone just choose compound plating? I mean, you're going into a universe where nothing is known so far. Why would you go for an armor that only blocks a specific type of weapon? And just get one that blocks all of them to a certain degree. Why wouldn't you do that? I mean, as this game gets more and more features added to it, maybe a log will benefit. Like something detailing some of the universe around you. Because I know nothing about this universe, so I'm just taking the blandest possible precautions I can. Compound plating. Hopefully it's something that will be expanded upon. I know it will, actually, because, well, you don't build a space game and not have some mythology around it. That's just... why would you do that? Why would you do that, man? If you come away with anything from this video, never let it be said that I don't like this game. I'm actually having a huge amount of fun designing my ship here. That's the sort of thing that gets people absorbed, and hopefully the designers improve upon those aspects so that more people can be absorbed, and not just people who are doing this in a niche way. It's like, I hope this isn't just purely focused on a niche market. I hope this is focused for a lot of people, because this aspect of the game, this ship design, has a wide appeal to a lot of people. I know that for a fact. If some of the controls were less finicky, if some of the options were more expansive, then this should be a totally great experience, and I hope the designers realize that. Oh, now I get the colors! I wish you could have seen that in the shipyard, but okay. Alright, now let's figure out how to control this beast. I gotta say, it's very in medias res in this game. They drop you in the middle of nowhere with no contextual information about what you're supposed to do, where you're going. So yeah, battle logs, a history, a mythology, something that would explain where we are, who we are, what are we doing, what are we fighting for, who are we fighting against, some of the technology. Say what you will about Mass Effect, its mythology was deep. The potential for that universe that they built is so astonishing that that's part of the appeal of the games itself, playing through events in that universe. Hopefully, an actual story element is crafted onto this game, or something. Not all games require stories per se. I mean, EVE Online, another notable space game, it's mostly user-generated stories, player-generated stories. This is a nice effect. Gives a nice sense of momentum. Not just of speed, but of the momentousness of the actual travel of FTL ships. I love that effect. That is a nice effect. Unfortunately, as I said before, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And here the frame rate is tanking for some reason. I suppose that's what you get when you want second highest graphics. But a lot of games run pretty smoothly on my Mac. It's just a matter of optimization, I guess. Hopefully this frame rate issue will be fixed, because that is an immersion breaker sometimes for some people. Not necessarily for me, but I'd like my game to be running faster than a slideshow, if at all possible. Here we go again. This is an aspect of the game that could be improved upon too. The exploration, the actual travel, all that sorts of good stuff. The sound design, whoever's doing the sound design for this game, you keep them hired. They're doing a good job. The music too is very good. The graphics, I mean the general art design, I shouldn't say graphics, the general art design is okay. That's a pretty ghetto crosshair. Improve that, please. That is pretty ghetto. I have no idea what these symbols mean. Just pressing random buttons, trying to figure out what to do. Oh man, this will probably never get too old. This has been a look at Kinetic Void, an early access game available on Steam. I like where this game is going, I really do. And hopefully its potential is expanded upon. This has been Thoughtful Salt, and I'll see you next time.